There is a moment in every person's life where the walls close in, the lights dim, and the weight becomes unbearable. That moment is not here to destroy you. It's here to find out who you really are. And I'll tell you now, you were built to survive this. You weren't thrown into this fight to lose. You were put here because there is something in you that can't be broken, unless you give it permission. You've been lied to by comfort, by doubt, by fear, told that the pain is too much, the battle too hard, the climb too steep. But you're still standing. And if you're still standing, that means the fire didn't consume you. You're not done, not even close. In fact, this is where the real fight begins, when most people quit. But not you. Act like you were built to survive this. Because you were. Every scar on your soul, every tear, every failure, those aren't signs of defeat. Those are proof you've been in the ring, proof you felt pressure and didn't crack. The world doesn't care about your excuses. Life respects one thing, grit. You've got it. You wouldn't still be here if you didn't. You don't rise by chance. You rise by choice. And that means deciding right now that the struggle in front of you is fuel, not failure. Every mountain in your way is a mirror. It's reflecting your true size. And most people bow their heads. But you lift your chin and walk through it. That's how survivors act. They don't flinch. They don't beg for easy days. They forge through chaos because that's where power is made. Forget waiting for a break. You are the break. You are the turning point. You are the force. You don't need everything to be fair. You just need to be relentless. That voice in your head whispering, give up, smother it with action. That fear you feel, it's not a wall. It's a test. Push into it. Push through it. That's how warriors are born. That's how legends are written. People around you may doubt. That's their problem. People may quit. That's their path. But you were made to last. The storm came, and it didn't take you out. Why? Because storms are loud, but they're not stronger than resolve. And resolve lives in you. All the comfort in the world will never build what one hard moment can. Every time you want to quit is the exact moment you should lean in harder. You're not allowed to be average. Not anymore. Not with what you've been through. That pain wasn't random. It was a message, a transformation. The fire wasn't punishment. It was preparation. So stop waiting for permission to be great. Step into it. Own it. Act like survival is in your DNA, because it is. You will rise, not because it's easy, but because you refuse not to. You will succeed, not because someone gave you a chance, but because you created one with your own hands. And you will overcome, not someday, but now, because this is the moment where warriors wake up. So hold your head high, set your jaw, narrow your focus. And remember, you weren't built to bow. You were built to rise. You were built to endure. You were built to win. Act like it. You were not made to break. You were made to overcome. The pressure you feel, it's not here to crush you. It's here to reveal the strength you forgot you had. You weren't designed for comfort. You were designed for battle. You weren't placed in this storm to drown. You were placed here to discover that your lungs were built to breathe underwater. This life does not reward the timid, the passive, or the comfortable. It rewards the bold, the persistent, the unshakable. And you, whether you see it yet or not, you are all of those things. Because you're still standing, still breathing, still fighting. That means you've already outlasted every excuse, every setback, every voice that told you it was too much. And if you're still here, then there's more in you to give. You were not made to break. You were made to overcome. There is something dangerous about a person who refuses to fold. Something unshakable about someone who decides to rise even when it hurts. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They're proof that you've survived what should have taken you out. You are walking evidence that strength is born in the fire, not the silence. When the world looks at you, they may see someone tired, someone burdened, someone on the edge. But you know better. You know you were forged in the dark when no one was watching. You know every late night, every silent battle, every moment you chose not to quit was a brick laid in the foundation of something unstoppable. You were never meant to live an ordinary life. That tension in your chest, that war in your mind, it's not chaos, it's the calling. And if you hear it, it means you were made for more. Stop waiting for peace to start moving. Stop waiting for the world to make sense before you stand tall. The storm is not your enemy, it's your training ground. Every hit you take sharpens you, every challenge stretches you. Pain isn't a punishment, it's permission. Permission to grow, permission to evolve, permission to rise to a level you never thought possible. No one hands power to the unprepared. Life doesn't give crowns to the passive. You earn greatness by walking through hell and refusing to come out empty-handed. You don't beg for strength, you become it. You don't ask for easy, you learn to thrive in hard. That's the mindset that makes giants. And that's the spirit that lives in you whether you've embraced it yet or not. If you're tired, keep moving. If you're scared, move anyway. You don't need courage to feel comfortable. You need courage to move forward in spite of fear. That's what separates those who talk from those who build. That's the difference between wishing and winning. When everything around you tells you to give in, that's when you dig in. When your mind tells you to retreat, that's when you press forward. Because your future doesn't belong to the critic. It belongs to the one who showed up when it counted. The one who looked the storm in the face and said, "You should have finished me when you had the chance." You're not just surviving, you're becoming. Becoming the kind of person who doesn't just endure pressure, but thrives in it. Don't let the temporary convince you that your mission has ended. Don't let the setback convince you that your story is over. What you're facing is not the end, it's the edge of something new, the edge of a breakthrough. And when you stand on that edge, it demands a decision. You either fall back into fear, or you push forward into fire. And if you choose the fire, you will not be the same. You'll burn away the excuses, you'll burn away the weakness, you'll burn away the version of you that thought survival was the goal. You'll realize survival was never the end game, domination was. Impact was, power was. You are not here just to make it through. You are here to rise, to lead, to shake the ground when you walk. You don't owe the world an apology for your strength. You don't need to explain your resilience. You are not here to fit into a mold, follow a script, or play it safe. You are here to break ceilings. You are here to silence doubt. You are here to make every failure regret the day it came for you. The fight you're in is not punishment, it's promotion. And you're not waiting to be chosen. You already were. The moment you refused to quit, the moment you stood up when everything said stay down, that was the moment you became unstoppable. Not because everything got easier, but because you got stronger. So whatever's in your way right now, stand up to it. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, now. Stand like someone who knows this won't break them. Move like someone who's already won. Breathe like someone who knows the war may be long, but their spirit is longer. This moment is yours to own. Your fear is real, but it is not final. Your pain is deep, but it is not your identity. Your struggle is loud, but your resolve is louder. You are not here to lose. You are not here to break. You are here to overcome. And you will, because you were not made to break. You were made to overcome. Now act like it. Life's challenges are not roadblocks. They are training grounds. Every hardship you face is not meant to stop you, it is meant to shape you. The pain, the struggle, the confusion, they are tools. They are sharpening your mind, hardening your will, and forging your character. Stop treating your adversity like an interruption to your path. It is the path. Every difficulty is a classroom, and every setback is a test. You don't grow in comfort. You don't find your edge in safety. You find it in chaos. You find it when things fall apart, and you choose to rise anyway. That's where strength is born. That's where greatness is carved. And if you're in that fire right now, don't pull away from it. Use it. Because the people who rise are the ones who stop waiting for conditions to be perfect and start learning how to fight under pressure. You were not sent into these battles to be punished. You were sent to be prepared. Pressure is the price of becoming powerful. You can't complain your way to strength. You can't cry your way to discipline. You have to lean into the discomfort and own it. Most people see resistance and turn back. The few, the rare, they see resistance and run toward it. They know that muscles don't grow unless they're torn, that diamonds aren't made without pressure, that character doesn't emerge without war. You say you want success? Good. Now prove you deserve it when everything in your life says you can't have it. You say you want to be unstoppable? Then stop treating adversity like an enemy. It's not. It's your invitation to rise. It's the voice that asks, how bad do you want it? And waits to see if you'll answer with your actions. It's easy to act confident when life is going your way. It's easy to speak like a warrior when the path is smooth. But the truth of who you are is revealed when everything collapses and you're still standing. That's when you find out what you're really made of. You see, life isn't trying to destroy you. It's trying to uncover you. Strip away the fear, peel off the doubt, burn away the excuses, until all that remains is the raw, unbreakable version of you that was always there. The part that doesn't quit, the part that doesn't run, the part that gets knocked down 7 times and stands up 8, not with a smile, but with fire in its eyes. Because when you understand that the pain isn't personal, it's purposeful, you stop whining and you start winning. No champion is handed their crown. Every champion is built in silence, in discipline, in the moments where quitting seems easier than continuing. And make no mistake, those moments will come. They'll come when you're tired, when you're wounded, when you're lost. But if you can learn to keep moving anyway, you become untouchable. Because the world can take your comfort, your money, your praise, but it can't take your will unless you surrender it. And you will not surrender. Not here, not now. You've come too far, you've sacrificed too much, and deep down you know that what you're going through is not the end of you, it's the making of you. That challenge in front of you, it's not a wall, it's a mirror. It's asking if you're ready to see who you really are. You can't fake it when life hits you in the mouth. You can't talk your way out of pressure. You either rise or you fold. You either break or you build. And right now, this pressure you feel is an opportunity to level up, to transform, to burn the old version of yourself and step into the one who's been waiting to be born. But you can't do that if you keep looking at pain like a punishment. You can't do that if you keep asking, why me? Instead of saying, try me. You are not a victim. You are not fragile. You are not here to survive. You are here to dominate, to lead, to become the kind of person who turns pain into fuel and setbacks into stepping stones. That's who you are. That's who you've always been. You just needed the pressure to wake you up. So stop praying for easy. Stop begging for rest. Start thanking life for the chance to fight. The greatest version of you isn't found in applause or ease. It's found in the middle of the storm, when your back is against the wall and you decide not to retreat. Because every time you choose discipline over doubt, every time you choose courage over comfort, you get one step closer to becoming what you were born to be. This is the process. This is the test. This is the work. And it doesn't end when it gets hard. It begins. So the next time life tries to stop you, remember this. The roadblocks were never roadblocks. They were training grounds. And you were never stuck. You were being shaped. Now stand up, grit your teeth, and push forward. Because the battlefield is where the warrior is built. The moment you act like a survivor, you stop being a victim. The shift doesn't happen when your circumstances change. It happens the second you change your posture, your mindset, your energy. Victims wait to be rescued. Survivors get up and move. Victims replay the pain. Survivors use the pain. That transformation isn't about denying what happened to you. It's about refusing to let it define what you do next. It's about standing up when you have every reason to stay down. The moment you stop asking why this happened and start asking what you're going to do with it, you flip the script. You take the pen back. You start writing your story again, not as someone who lost, but as someone who lived through hell and came out stronger because of it. The world will always offer you a reason to collapse, to complain, to shrink. But none of those options serve you. None of them get you closer to where you were meant to be. Every time you choose to see yourself as a survivor, you tap into a strength that doesn't beg for peace. It builds in chaos. You realize that even though you didn't choose the fight, you get to choose how you face it. You realize that healing isn't passive. It's an aggressive decision to stop bleeding and start building. This is the fork in the road. On one side, the path of the victim, filled with blame, excuses, and dependency. On the other, the path of the survivor, carved by grit, owned by action, and lit by unstoppable will. You know which one you're meant to walk. The most dangerous person in the room isn't the one who's never been broken. It's the one who's been broken 1,000 times and kept coming back. Because once you've made the choice to act like a survivor, nothing can hold you down for long. People can throw dirt on you. Life can try to bury you. But survivors don't get buried, they get planted. And when the roots grow deep, when the foundation gets strong, what grows back is tougher, harder to shake, impossible to kill. That's the edge that victims never taste. That's the edge that turns wounds into wisdom and setbacks into weapons. Your pain is real. Your story is heavy. But you are not what hurt you. You are what rose from it. Stop giving your power to things you cannot control. Stop blaming what broke you for where you are now. That chapter is over. You've read it enough. It's time to write the next one in ink, made of steel and spine. The mindset of a survivor isn't just about fighting. It's about refusing to be defined by anything you didn't choose. It's about rewriting the meaning of everything you've been through. That's where strength is born, not in denying the darkness, but in deciding to walk through it with your head high and your fists clenched. That's when the power shifts. That's when you stop reacting and start commanding. That's when you stop needing sympathy and start demanding results. You'll be tempted to slip back into the familiar place where you blame others, where you play small, where you wait for someone to tell you it's okay to move on. But no one's coming. The truth is harsh, but it's freeing. This is your life, and no one can walk it for you. The day you stop expecting someone to rescue you is the day you become dangerous. Because now you're not waiting. Now you're building. Now you're moving forward with nothing but your breath, your belief, and your decision to never be ruled by what tried to ruin you. You've got the scars, but you've also got the fire. And that fire will carry you farther than comfort ever could. Every great leader, every powerful force, every relentless soul was born from something that should have broken them. And what separates them isn't talent, it's ownership. They took responsibility for their future no matter how unfair their past was. You've got that same power. It's already in you. The switch isn't complicated, but it is critical. You stop saying, "Why me?" and you start saying, "Watch me." You stop asking for the pain to leave, and you start asking what it's trying to teach. You stop making the past your identity, and you start making the future your obsession. You shift from passive to active, from hurt to healed, from victim to victor. And all of it starts with one decision: to act like a survivor. So if you're in the middle of the battle, good. That means you're still alive. That means you've still got a chance to turn the page. Don't flinch. Don't pause. Don't fold. Stand tall in it. Grind through it. Roar back at the darkness. You don't need perfect timing or a sign from the sky. You just need the guts to say, enough. Enough waiting. Enough blaming. Enough playing weak when you were built for war. There's a version of you on the other side of this pain that will scare the hell out of the old you. A version that doesn't apologize for their strength. A version that isn't ashamed of the journey. A version that owns their scars like armor. That version is waiting for you to make one decision, to stop living like a victim and start acting like a survivor. Every hardship contains the seed of equal or greater strength. The challenge you face today, the struggle you're buried under, is not here to defeat you. It's here to refine you. In every moment of pain, there is a hidden lesson. In every setback, a hidden advantage. The greatest warriors don't rise because life was easy. They rise because every battle they fought, every wound they endured, they used as the foundation of their power. You think you're being broken down, but what's actually happening is that you're being built up, piece by piece, stronger than you ever imagined possible. The more life takes from you, the more it prepares you to take what's yours. Strength isn't something you're given. It's something you earn in the hardest of moments. When you're struggling, when the weight feels unbearable, it's easy to think that the world is against you. It's easy to assume that this is where it ends. But that's the moment where the seed of your future strength is planted. Like a tree that grows strong through storms, you are growing, whether you realize it or not. The pain you feel now, it's temporary. The growth it triggers, it's permanent. The limits you think you have, they're just illusions, challenges to be surpassed, each one making you stronger, more capable, and more resilient. This is the process that creates the person you were meant to become. The person who will look back one day and say, "I'm glad I didn't quit." Because what's buried beneath the surface of your hardship is the very thing that will lift you higher than you ever dreamed possible. No one becomes their best version by avoiding struggle. Strength isn't gained in comfort. It's forged in adversity. Life doesn't care how many times you fall, but it does care how many times you choose to rise. Every setback, every failure, every heartbreak, it's not just an obstacle. It's an opportunity in disguise. It's an invitation to grow beyond who you were yesterday. You've heard it before. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But it's not just surviving the storm that counts. It's what you do in the storm. The person who stands in the eye of the hurricane, refusing to bow, refusing to break, that's who you're becoming. Not because life is fair, but because you decided in that moment to use every ounce of pain as fuel to propel yourself forward. Think of the greatest people you know, or the heroes you admire. They didn't come into the world with an easy road. They didn't get where they are because they avoided struggle. They got there because they saw every hardship as a stepping stone, a necessary part of their journey. Those moments that broke most people, they made them. They became their resilience. They transformed their suffering into strength. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers, the hopeful from the victorious. It's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get back up stronger than before. The truth is, you're stronger than you know. The struggle you're in right now, it's teaching you how strong you are, whether you realize it or not. Every moment you feel like quitting, every time you feel like throwing in the towel, you're being tested. And with every test, you get stronger. The version of you that's on the other side of this struggle will look back and marvel at the growth, the lessons learned, the power gained. You won't recognize the person you are becoming because every hardship that you've survived will leave you different. Not weaker, but stronger. And one day you'll look at the very things that tried to break you, and you'll smile. You'll smile because they didn't break you. They were never meant to. They were meant to build you. Your strength isn't measured by how many times you stand up. It's measured by how many times you stand up stronger than before. That's how growth works. It's not linear. It's cyclical. You climb, you fall, you rise again, but each time you rise, you're higher than you were before. Every hardship teaches you something new, something vital that you need to keep pushing forward. And while the pain might seem overwhelming, you must remember that it is temporary, but the strength you gain from it is permanent. Every difficult chapter is just a page in your story, a chapter that will make sense when you look back and realize that it was that very struggle that gave you the strength to conquer what you once thought impossible. So don't shy away from your hardships. Embrace them. Embrace the discomfort, the frustration, and the exhaustion. Know that with every ounce of pain, you are growing, expanding, and building the resilience needed to conquer what comes next. The road ahead won't be easy, but it will be worth it. And the more challenges you face, the more you will realize that you were never meant to be a passive participant in life. You were meant to be its creator, its conqueror. Your strength, the strength that is born in the toughest moments, will carry you farther than anything you've ever known. So, when life hands you a challenge, don't step back, step forward. Because inside every hardship, there's a seed waiting to grow into something powerful. Control your mind, or your mind will control you. The most powerful tool you possess is not your body, your wealth, or your connections. It is your mind. And yet most people live as if they are prisoners to their own thoughts. The truth is, if you don't take charge of your mind, it will take charge of you. Every thought you have is a choice. Every emotion you feel is a result of the mental patterns you allow to dominate your life. If you let negativity, doubt, and fear control you, your life will be filled with defeat, hesitation, and regret. But if you learn to master your thoughts, if you learn to control the story you tell yourself, you will become unstoppable. Because the mind is the source of all success, all failure, and everything in between. It's time to take the reins. The world outside you is chaotic. It's unpredictable. It's full of distractions, obstacles, and noise that threaten to drown you. But the one thing you can always control is what goes on inside. You can choose to direct your thoughts, to choose where your energy flows. When you master your mind, you take control of the game. You stop letting the circumstances around you dictate how you feel. You stop reacting to life like a leaf in the wind. Instead, you become the storm. The moment you take control of your mind, you become the one who decides how you move through this world. You stop being a victim to your circumstances and start becoming the creator of your reality. The thoughts you have today shape the actions you take tomorrow, and those actions determine the life you will lead. So ask yourself, are your thoughts leading you to success or to mediocrity? It's easy to let your mind spiral. It's easy to let doubt creep in, to entertain fear, to get lost in the uncertainty of the unknown. But when you allow yourself to be consumed by these thoughts, you allow them to dictate your future. You allow them to keep you from moving forward, to keep you small. It's time to stop letting your mind hold you back. Instead of focusing on the obstacles, focus on the solutions. Instead of drowning in negativity, plant seeds of possibility. Your mind is not a jail cell, it's a launching pad, but only if you choose to use it that way. Every time you control your thoughts, you strengthen your resolve. Every time you reject doubt and replace it with belief, you gain power. You become the person who rises above the noise. You become the person who doesn't wait for the world to change, but changes the world with the force of their mind. Every successful person you admire has one thing in common. They've learned to control their thoughts. They've learned that the greatest battle is the one that takes place inside their own mind. It's not the external challenges that determine your success. It's how you handle the internal battle. Your thoughts are the foundation of your future. If you allow them to be weak, filled with uncertainty and fear, your actions will reflect that. But if you build your mind like a fortress, if you feed it with purpose, clarity, and resilience, your actions will follow suit. When you learn to control your thoughts, you control your fate. You stop being swayed by temporary emotions and start making decisions based on long-term vision. You become unstoppable because your mind is aligned with your purpose, and nothing can stand in your way. The greatest strength lies in mental fortitude. The person who has mastered their mind doesn't panic in the face of adversity. They rise, they don't get overwhelmed by challenges, they thrive. Why? Because they know that their mind is their most powerful weapon. When you learn to control your mind, you stop running from discomfort. You stop shrinking when things get hard. Instead, you lean into the discomfort, knowing that it is where your growth happens. You welcome challenge as an opportunity to sharpen your mind, to build your character. You no longer fear failure, because you know that failure is simply another step in the process of success. You learn from every setback, you adapt, and you come back stronger. And that power, it comes from within. It comes from your ability to control your mind. If you're not where you want to be, it's time to ask yourself, what's controlling your mind? Are you allowing fear, doubt, and uncertainty to dictate your thoughts? Are you allowing negative influences to take hold of your mental space? Or are you choosing to fill your mind with the thoughts of success, perseverance, and possibility? The difference between where you are and where you want to be is how you think. Your mindset is everything. Your thoughts either propel you forward or keep you stuck. The moment you take control of your mind, you take control of your destiny. You stop letting life dictate how you feel. You stop letting external circumstances determine your worth. Instead, you stand tall and claim your power. You become the master of your thoughts, and in doing so, you become the master of your life. The truth is, no one has control over you unless you allow them to. The moment you decide to take control of your mind, you take back your life. You refuse to let fear hold you hostage. You refuse to let doubt dictate your every move. You stand firm in your beliefs, unwavering in your purpose. When you master your thoughts, you unlock a power that cannot be stopped. You become the force that shapes your reality. Your mind is the key to everything. It's time to take control. Pain is not the enemy, it's the signal that power is being born. The struggle you feel, the weight that pulls you down, is not here to defeat you. It's here to shape you. Every time you experience pain, every time you're pushed to the limit, something deeper is happening. You are being forged. You are being tested. You are becoming stronger, harder, and more resilient than you were before. Pain doesn't destroy you. It unlocks parts of you that were dormant, waiting to awaken. It's the process of growth, of transformation, and of evolution. When you understand that pain is not your adversary, but rather the catalyst for your true strength, you begin to move through life differently. You stop fearing the discomfort and start using it to your advantage. Most people view pain as a roadblock, a sign to stop, to retreat, to give up. They see suffering as something to avoid, to run from, and to hide from. But the truth is, pain is a teacher. It's a guide that shows you where you need to grow, where your limits are, and where your potential lies. The more pain you endure, the more you stretch your limits, the more you expand your capacity for greatness. Every ounce of pain is an opportunity to push past what you thought was your breaking point. Every challenge is an invitation to become someone new, someone stronger, someone who cannot be defeated by the obstacles that life throws their way. There's a reason why the greatest people in history endured incredible hardship. They didn't become legends because everything was easy. They became legends because they understood that pain was part of the process, and they learned to embrace it. They learned to move through it with grace and purpose, knowing that it was pushing them closer to their destiny. Pain, when viewed through this lens, becomes a tool, not an enemy. It's no longer something that weakens you. It's something that sharpens you. When you stop running from your pain and start using it as a stepping stone, you unlock an inner power that you didn't even know you had. You realize that you are not fragile. You are a force of nature. You are built to endure, to rise, and to thrive no matter what life throws your way. You cannot control everything in your life. You cannot avoid every hardship. But what you can control is how you respond to them. You can choose to face them with courage, knowing that every ounce of pain will make you stronger. You can choose to see every setback as an opportunity for growth, every failure as a lesson, and every challenge as a step toward your greater purpose. The moment you stop fearing pain and start embracing it, you take away its power to hold you back. You take control of your own destiny, because pain, in its purest form, is simply a signal. It's the signal that power is being born. And once you understand this, nothing will ever break you again. Think about the greatest accomplishments in human history. Think about the people who have achieved extraordinary things. None of them did it without pain. They all endured incredible suffering, but they didn't let it destroy them. They used it to fuel their fire. They used it to grow. And that is exactly what you are capable of. The pain you are feeling right now is not permanent. It is not a sentence. It is a passage. It is the process through which you will emerge stronger, smarter, and more capable than ever before. Every time you choose to keep going despite the pain, you build the foundation for your future success. You turn the obstacles in your path into the fuel that drives you forward. The problem is that most people stop when the pain becomes too much. They shrink back, thinking that the suffering means they are failing, that they are broken. But the truth is, the pain is what keeps you going. It is what transforms you from someone who merely survives into someone who thrives. You are meant to experience pain. You are meant to feel the struggle. It is through this discomfort that you become the person you are destined to be. The pain you experience today is the foundation of your future success. It is the strength being built in your heart, your mind, and your soul. And if you can learn to embrace it, to face it with determination and resilience, you will find that it will never break you. Instead, it will make you. You were never meant to live a life free of pain. You were meant to live a life where you rise above it. Pain does not define you, it refines you. It is through the struggle that you will discover your true power. You will find a version of yourself that you never knew existed, a version that can't be defeated, a version that will stop at nothing to achieve its purpose. Every time you push through the pain, every time you refuse to quit, you move one step closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. And that person is unstoppable. That person is the one who knows that pain is not the enemy. It's the signal that power is being born, and nothing can stand in the way of that kind of strength. When everything is against you, act like you expected it. Life doesn't wait for the perfect conditions to test you. It doesn't care whether you feel ready or not. The storm will come, the obstacles will rise, and the challenges will hit when you least expect them. The question is not whether things will go wrong, but how you respond when they do. You were never promised a smooth road, so stop acting surprised when the road gets rough. The moment you expect the struggle, the moment you accept that adversity is a part of the journey, you take the first step towards victory. You stop letting life's chaos control you, and instead you learn to control your response. This is where the difference between the successful and the defeated lies, the ability to handle adversity without losing your composure. The world will throw curveballs at you. People will doubt you. Life will try to knock you down. But when you act like you expected it, you disarm the situation before it even has a chance to derail you. You don't waste time asking, "Why me?" Instead, you ask, "What's next?" When you expect obstacles, you stop being a victim of them. You don't stand there paralyzed by fear or frustration. Instead, you roll up your sleeves, you get to work, and you find a way to move forward. You know that the battle is not about avoiding hardship, but about how you navigate through it. It's about adapting, adjusting, and pushing forward with relentless determination. Life's obstacles are inevitable, but how you respond to them is entirely up to you. Success is not the absence of problems, it's the ability to handle them. Every successful person you admire faced difficulties. They faced setbacks. They encountered resistance. What set them apart was how they responded. They didn't crumble under pressure. They didn't fold when things got tough. Instead, they dug deep, embraced the struggle, and kept moving forward. They expected resistance, and they welcomed it because they knew that resistance would make them stronger. They understood that life doesn't get easier, but you get better at navigating through the storm. The key to success isn't avoiding the fight. It's being prepared for it and knowing how to stay standing when everything around you is trying to knock you down. When you expect hardship, you stop wasting your energy fighting against reality. You stop wasting time wishing things were different. You stop allowing frustration to take over. Instead, you get into solution mode. You start thinking, "This is just another obstacle in the way. This is just another test. What can I learn from it? What's the next step?" You become a problem solver, not a complainer. You stop being surprised by challenges because you know that every successful journey has its hurdles. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't isn't the size of the obstacles. It's the way they choose to handle them. Those who succeed expect obstacles, and when they come, they step right into them, ready to tackle whatever comes next. It's not just about expecting challenges. It's about anticipating them with confidence. It's about being mentally prepared for the fact that things won't always go according to plan. When you act like you expected the setback, you don't let it knock you off course. You use it as fuel to push harder. You realize that setbacks are not signs of failure. They are part of the journey. They are the very things that shape you, that mold you into the person capable of achieving your goals. The stronger the resistance, the greater the opportunity for growth. The more you encounter, the more you learn, and the more powerful you become. This mindset doesn't just prepare you for the obstacles, it makes you ready to take them head on, with no fear, no hesitation, and no excuses. Life is filled with unpredictable moments. You can't control the external world, but you can control how you react to it. The moment you stop expecting everything to go smoothly is the moment you take control of your life. You stop feeling like a victim when things don't go your way, and you start feeling empowered. You start seeing each challenge as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever thought possible. Challenges are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones, and the more you learn to embrace them, the higher you will climb. When everything is against you, and you feel like the world is pushing you into a corner, that's the moment to remind yourself you expected this. You knew it wouldn't be easy. You knew that nothing worthwhile comes without a fight. And when you act like you expected it, you put yourself in a position of strength. You stop being overwhelmed by what's happening around you, and instead, you take control of what's happening within you. You decide that no matter what comes your way, you will keep moving forward. You will keep fighting. You will keep going because you expected it, and you know that the challenges are just part of the process that leads to success. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for life to hand you everything on a silver platter. Expect the setbacks, the hurdles, and the obstacles, but also expect that you will rise above them. When you act like you expected everything to be difficult, you stop wasting time trying to make it easy. You start making it happen. And that's when you begin to truly see how unstoppable you really are. The world will test you, But you've already tested yourself, and you know you are ready. Because when everything is against you, you will act like you expected it, and that's what will make all the difference. You are forged by fire, not comfort. Stand tall in the storm. There is no strength without adversity, no growth without challenge, and no resilience without hardship. It is easy to feel like comfort is the goal, that the absence of pain and struggle is what we are meant to seek. But the truth is, comfort breeds complacency. Comfort keeps you stagnant. Comfort doesn't shape you into the person you are destined to become. It is the storm, the fire, the struggle that forges you into something stronger, something unbreakable. Every trial, every difficulty, every moment of hardship is not a sign of weakness, but an invitation to rise, to grow, and to stand taller than before. The person you become is built in the crucible of your most trying moments, not in the ease of living without challenge. When the storm comes, and it will come, many will shrink, many will falter, many will be swallowed by the pressure. They will look for shelter, for an escape, for any way to avoid the discomfort. But those who are forged by fire know that it is in the storm that their true power is realized. The storm doesn't weaken you, it refines you. It strips away the things that don't serve you, forces you to confront your weaknesses, and gives you the chance to rise stronger than before. Without the storm, there is no transformation. You would remain the same person, stagnant, incapable of reaching your full potential. The storm is the process, the fire that burns away everything that is not meant to be part of your destiny. Embrace it, because it is only through fire that you will be hardened into the person capable of withstanding anything life throws your way. Stand tall in the storm. When life tries to knock you down, when the winds of challenge threaten to uproot you, refuse to bend, refuse to break. Instead, stand firm. Stand with strength. Stand with the unshakable belief that nothing can take you down because you have been prepared for this. You've been forged by fire. Every time you face hardship, you are being sharpened, honed into something stronger, something more powerful. You are not meant to be fragile, to collapse under pressure. You are meant to rise, to face adversity head on, to meet the storm with the strength that only comes from having been through the fire before. When you learn to stand tall in the storm, you realize that nothing can destroy you. The storm can rage around you, but it can never defeat you, because you are made of something stronger than fear, than doubt, than anything life throws at you. There is no success without struggle. There is no greatness without adversity. You cannot rise to the highest heights without facing the deepest valleys. The fire you go through today is the forge that will shape you into the person capable of achieving your greatest dreams. It is in the hardest moments, the most challenging battles, where you find your true strength. But too often, people turn away from these moments, too afraid of what they might face. They run from the storm, thinking that comfort is the answer. But comfort only stifles growth. It is the storm that teaches you how to grow. It is the fire that hardens your resolve. The harder the battle, the stronger the warrior you become. And the more you stand tall in the storm, the more you will learn just how unshakable you truly are. You don't choose the storms that come into your life, but you can choose how you respond to them. You can choose whether to be broken by the pressure or to use it as the fuel that propels you forward. The strongest people are not the ones who avoid the storm, but the ones who stand tall in the midst of it, knowing that every gust of wind, every wave crashing around them is pushing them closer to the person they are meant to be. They understand that their true power comes not from avoiding discomfort, but from embracing it. They understand that it is in the storm that their resilience is built, their courage is tested, and their strength is forged. You are the product of every challenge you have faced. You are the sum of every obstacle you have overcome. And every time you rise from the fire, you rise stronger than before. Standing tall in the storm means refusing to give in, refusing to give up. It means looking adversity in the eye and saying, "You will not defeat me." It means taking the pain, the struggle, and turning it into the fuel that drives you forward. The greatest successes are often born from the greatest struggles. The person who has been tested by fire is the person who understands what it takes to succeed. They know that the storm will pass, but the strength they have gained from it will last forever. You are not defined by what happens to you, but by how you rise from it. You are not defined by your circumstances, but by how you face them. Stand tall in the storm, knowing that you are being forged into something greater than you could ever become in comfort. The fire will burn, but it will not consume you. It will make you who you are meant to be. The fire that burns you today is the fire that will ignite your future. Stand tall in it, for it is shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for everything that is to come. You are forged by fire, not comfort. And when you learn to stand tall in the storm, you become unstoppable. The challenges you face, the adversity you endure, will no longer feel like obstacles. They will feel like stepping stones, each one taking you closer to the person you are meant to be. The fire will not break you. It will make you stronger. It will make you a force of nature, unyielding, unshakable, and unstoppable. Stand tall. Embrace the storm. The best version of you is being born right now. In conclusion, remember this: you are not defined by the storms that rage around you, but by how you rise in the face of them. Life will test you, it will challenge you, and it will push you to your limits. But every moment of hardship is an opportunity to become stronger, more resilient, and more powerful. You were not made for comfort. You were made for greatness, forged by the fire of adversity. So when the storms come, when everything feels like it's against you, don't shrink back. Stand tall. Embrace the struggle. Because in that moment, you are being shaped into the person capable of achieving all you've ever dreamed. And know this: no storm, no challenge, no difficulty can ever defeat you unless you let it. Keep moving forward, and let the fire refine you into the unstoppable force you were always meant to be.